Episode of 2021 of the weekly Q&A and live chats. I am Mick Solomons, the developer of the Starting Strength app, and alongside me, Alex Koseri, Starting Strength coach. G'day, Alex.
How's it going, guys?
Going great. And from Houston, Texas, we have Starting Strength intern Phoebe.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Phoebe, how's it going? And Chase Lindley.
What's up?
How's it going, Chase? So, how'd you guys spend your holidays?
Oh, God.
For legal purposes, I had a party, a virtual party. At the virtual party, we drank and danced and had a lot of fun. And this was in Minecraft. But in reality, I was at home by myself. I was at least 10 feet away from my loved ones, including my wife. We sit on different sides of the room normally. But yeah, I had a hell of a time. It was nice getting out.
What's the Christmas in Texas like, guys? Is it like everywhere else, or is it just
Yeah, it's just no snow. Well, depending on, I guess, the weather and stuff. But yeah, it's usually just no snow, and I mean, we still do everything normally, like have a Christmas tree and have lights and stuff like that.
Does Rip dress up as Santa Claus? Is that the Wichita Falls Athletic Club Christmas party?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
hands out little packets of milk like you get in school.
Packets of milk and insulin.
Yeah,
exactly.
Just a 50cc vial of Tren.
Yeah.
We have our first comment from Ben Blake. He said, "Early is on time is late."
Why can't I see the message?
If you would like to direct any more shit talking, that can go directly to Mick. All of these things are his fault.
I can't see the chat messages. It's weird that you guys can see them. All right,
I never can either.
You can't see them.
I opened the stream in a separate tab.
It's weird. I don't know why I can't see them. Well, anyway, Alex, keep an eye on the chat messages for me during this stream, and
I'll try my best.
Yep, good work, man. Well, let's rip into some videos because we had quite a few submissions over the holidays as a bunch of people starting their New Year's resolutions. So anyway, we've got quite a few from last year that we need to rip through. And this is Andy Maybank, our old buddy.
The highest of high bars.
Mm-hmm.
I want a pair of these lifting shoes. I can't find them anymore. Makes me very sad.
What are they?
If you wear a size 8, I got some.
Damn. No, Phoebe, sorry.
How big are you, Alex?
I think in most lifters I wear an 11.5. My walking around shoe is a 12.
Oh.
Damn, that's some big feet.
Yep. Yeah.
And it's weird, I'm only 5'3", so it's...
It looks like you're wearing skis.
Yeah, I'm just a hobbit.
Yeah. Who wants to have a go at this one?
Andy, yeah, I'll get Andy here. Andy, even though this is a high bar, you're still going to have to lean over a little bit more than you're used to. You're getting into your knees, and that's causing you to get up into your toes. Like on this first rep, you can see air underneath your heels. So think about stretching back your hamstrings and shoving your ass straight behind you to the wall behind you. Coming up, try not to shove out your knees too much. Just drive straight up with your hips. And other than that, that's going to help you get depth too by sitting back a lot more.
I think the bar position is too high for even high bar. I think you are well past the top shelf that your traps are making. So like the landmark that you can look for if you have like a okay level of muscularity is just shrugging your shoulder up to your ear. And there will be a pretty flat plateau. If you're like, for as lean as you are, you'll be able to feel it. That's where the bar goes. I think you actually have it higher than that. Based off the depth for this. Whenever you have it there, it will actually move backwards about like maybe half an inch to an inch. And then the physics and the mechanics for the high bar squat make a little bit more sense. You won't have to focus as much on sitting back because you've now shifted everything backwards a little bit. So see if you can move the bar down slightly, and then while it's going down, it'll go back. And the rest of the stuff that Chase said. You don't want any of your feet, any of your heels or your toes coming up during the squat. That's like a super common thing that needs to be worked out as soon as you can.
Yep. Just get that mic a bit closer to your chin or turn it around or something, Alex. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better.
We got some comments.
I've got the chat comments now. So do you want to read that first one, Alex?
Yeah, in the Gray Book, whatever the hell that is, Rip mentions very few athletes ever need advanced strength programming. Would heavyweight boxers come under that category, or is it too aerobic? Phoebe, this is a good softball for you.
What's read that again? He's asking if you're a boxer.
Yeah, would
he's
heavyweight
a-
boxers... Oh, go ahead, Chase, sorry.
So think of it in terms of he's an advanced level boxer,
Yeah.
right? But now he wants to strength train.
Yeah.
What does he need to do?
I mean, wouldn't he just start the regular NLP? Shouldn't he be fine doing that right now? I mean,
Exactly.
he doesn't even know where his strength's at as far as barbell training.
Very much so. I think the big fault when people try to slap athletes into training is they think that their level of advancement has to in some way mimic their status. So it's just like, I've worked with a lot of pretty advanced grapplers, and then they're all starting on the LP, because the thing is that you ideally want them to do as little work as humanly possible to get their return, because they're already busy practicing their sport for 12 to 16 hours a week, right? So to think that someone would start on an advanced thing where it's like, let's say, Chase, how many hours a week are you training? Probably what, like 9?
4 days out of the week, and so 4 days times about what, like 2 hours.
Okay.
So about almost 9, 8.5.
Yeah. So it's just like, imagine if we added that workload on top of a boxer who's already doing their own work for 12 hours a week. It's not a good idea.
Yeah.
You want to start with them with the simplest thing they can get away with, because they are very sensitized to barbell training because they just never have. It's very rare for anyone to ever get to advanced programming, I would say, unless they are like a strength athlete, if they're doing some sort of specific strength sport.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we had a
mean,
few
boxing.
fighters in there. I was saying.
Can I have a go at this one? I reckon I got this one.
I
It's
believe
like,
in you, Mick.
if you're a boxer, like, do you want to punch harder? Is that helpful for boxing? I mean,
As someone who has boxed extensively, yes.
yes, the harder you can hit, the better,
I would-
you know. So,
I would think so.
yeah, I mean, it's just get stronger, punch harder, punch faster. I mean, yeah, that would be my take on it. All right. Okay. Is that just everyone's agreeing? Is that the silence that everyone's
I
agreeing?
don't
Yeah.
think anyone is going to disagree on this one. I think even Rusty and I would agree. That's how you know a question really does have one answer.
Yep. Duke of Istria 1. Question for all. What's your opinion on raw milk and raw eggs? Please no salmonella comments.
So I remember whenever the world first went into chaos and everything was locked down, our gym here in Houston was shut down, and I just went back up to Wichita Falls since I didn't have a place to train at the time, so I figured why not go back to the gym, because believe it or not, RIP never really shut down. While we were working out, though, there's a guy who operates a little ranch out there, and he's kind of a ranch hand, and he has a bunch of free-range chickens, and they just lay eggs continuously. He would bring in like 4 dozen almost every single day. Those were probably the best eggs I've ever ate. And then I've told y'all multiple times about my dairy friend who's let me drink right out of the milk container before it was pasteurized, and yeah, it was amazing.
What's
I
the
think it's
difference
fine.
with a raw egg between a?
Yeah,
'Cause I thought
that's
they
what I
just
was gonna
washed the.
ask.
I mean, maybe he's saying,
watch the-
maybe he's
the
actually
shit.
like saying not cooking the egg, like old Rocky style. Rocky just cracked the egg into the cup and then just sucked it down.
Gross, but
I mean-
theoretically safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People do have egg whites all the time. That's the bad
Mhm.
part, right? Or
Yeah.
no, it's the yolk, the bad part.
There's no bad part. It's all good. How many eggs does Rip? I remember hearing Rip talking about how he cooked like 14 eggs in bacon fat, and that was his breakfast.
Ooh.
Rip.
Oh, yeah, like I've eaten a dozen eggs at one time. It's easy as hell. Eggs are, you just slurp them down, and like it's just like, especially with like the raw eggs. I did this
No,
as a
you
kid because
slurp down
yeah,
eggs.
well, I did this as a kid because
Right.
everyone saw the Rocky movies, and they were like, oh fuck, a raw egg. I wonder what that tastes like. And I remember tasting a raw egg, and I was like, oh my god, this is like a loogie. Just
Yeah.
slurping it down.
Just-
Well,
How's
people
the
who eat oysters must eat raw eggs.
yeah, oysters are a bit different, I think. But how's the house smell after Chase has eaten a dozen eggs, Phoebe?
Chase just eats meat and everything. So anytime you are around Chase, just maybe keep a scented cloth
I don't
near you
stink.
or something. No,
You-
farts stink though. Protein farts are bad.
Maybe.
They are bad.
And yeah, I've never seen a person just literally in a cooked egg. Like it's just like, what are you?
You don't even
doing?
need to chew it. Just swallow it whole.
No, I don't think you choose them. I'm just like, ugh.
No, that is easily. All right, I think we actually talked about raw milk a couple of episodes ago. I think I might have even made a clip out about it. And then I got onto breast milk somehow. And yeah, anyway, look that up, Duke of Istria. Let's crack on with another form check. B. Blake.
Oh, I would assume this is the infamous E. Blake of the comments, calling us out on our shit for being late.
Oh, that was him.
Oh, he's got the Rocky poster up there.
Oh.
Well, B. Blake, we're about to talk shit about your back extension.
That's a cute little home gym, though. I like it. Looks like he's gonna put some more stuff up, though.
Yeah.
I just wonder what the thing says. It says East and painter's tape up top.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw
that's
that
why I
too.
was like, is he gonna put something there? Because he's got these little marks all over the wall in painter's tape.
Maybe
Maybe he just really likes to know what direction he's
he's-
facing in.
he needs to know which direction to pray. Maybe that's a.
That could be it.
It's possible.
That could be it. All right, you guys want to take this one?
Can I
Yeah.
start on this one? See
Go
if
ahead.
I'm right. I haven't coached in like weeks, you guys. Like since Christmas, I'm just.
Go ahead.
So B. Blake, I would say, as Chase was saying before, your back extension. It's like you start to straighten up good at first, and then you just lose your back as soon as you pull. And also, I'd probably rock back a little bit at first. Looks like you're a little bit on your toes. A bit hard to tell.
B. Blake, I would probably even try loosening up your belt a hole. I've found this with my clients here in Houston is that sometimes they get the belt on too tight. It's not the same necessarily as how you strap on for a squat. The deadlift, you kind of need it a little bit looser so you can actually shove your stomach down in between your legs. But make sure you're 1 inch away from your setup. Looks like you're a tiny bit forward. Rock back like what Phoebe was saying, and then set the back. Take a little bit more time doing that.
Yeah, maybe he's yanking it a little bit. Maybe that's why he's losing it. I think I know something or two about that since I did that last week.
Yeah, he's losing. Looks like he's losing all tightness as soon as he starts pulling.
Yeah, so if you're going to try and do like a KK pull, Konstantinov, RIP, rest in peace to him. How many years ago was that? That was like, must be 4 or 5 years ago at this point. But
Yeah.
if you're going to try a rounded upper back pull, you need to get close to the bar. Think about getting your hips more behind it. This bar is drifting off of your shins. You have like a dead spot before it's on your knees where it's about like an inch and a half away from your shins. You want to sort that out. So like a rounded upper back pull, it's a fine strategy to have for very heavy attempts if you want to work on it. But you need to adjust the rest of your mechanics. It doesn't work super well if you are attempting the standard 5-set setup because the bar is just going to drift away from your legs, which is what we're seeing now. So if you're attempting to do it more righter, focus on your upper back more over your lower back. Your lower back's set enough already. I would definitely take the belt off like Chase was saying. If you get leaner, you can have the belt basically as tight as it can get, but if you're a little bit fluffy, it honestly just squishes everything and you can't really get too set. But I would mimic everything that Chase said and then determine which kind of pull you want to do. If you're trying to train your erectors to be as good as their job as possible, don't do the rounded upper back pull.
Yep. All right, B. Blake. There you go, son. Hope the wait was worth it. There's a few comments. Is there any questions there that we need to look at?
Theodore is talking about the concept of an anti-nutrient, which you don't really have to worry about when eating normal levels of consumption.
What's the best way
What
to...
is an anti-nutrient? I've never even heard of this.
Exactly. Don't worry about it.
Okay, don't want to clutter my brain up with that.
Yeah, it's like if someone's trying to tell you about how much selenium you need in your diet, and you're like, I don't know, and it doesn't matter.
Eat 3 almonds a day. What's the best way to establish dominance over New Year's resolutioners?
That's a good question.
Man, that's kind of that's kind of hard because usually you walk into a gym and there's already like a gym etiquette if you're in a proper gym. If they don't know about proper gym etiquette, you know, if they're walking in front of you, if they're doing some silly bullshit while you're trying to deadlift, just be like, hey, I'm trying to focus. I can injure myself if I'm trying to watch you do Pilates and shake your ass in front of me. Can you please just wait until I'm done, or before I pull, can you like hurry up and scurry along? Simple stuff like that, but it's fun.
He tells people to
like
scurry
that
and
one
mush,
guy.
which is good.
I assume
He just
people
has a
scurry
broom with
when
him
Chase
if
tells
he
you to
Steal my
scurry.
plates, bro.
Yeah.
I had a
I think
girl
that's
who
what he
was
trying to do to
I had
you
a-
that day.
I had a girl who was doing like just sat on the floor in front of the deadlift platform, like literally a meter in front of the deadlift platform, 2 meters in front of where I was deadlifting, just started like stretching and I don't know, tying up her shoes. And I go, look, I'm about to deadlift. I have a habit that I tend to spit. I mean, just, you know, saliva comes out of my mouth when I deadlift. So I'm just warning you, if you're sitting there when that happens, you're probably going to get, you know, I don't want to say a facial. That's what I thought I was going to say, but it's not what came out of my mouth.
Wear a mouth guard, Mick. Or are you just spitting off your balcony every time you
No, I wasn't even deadlifting. I was just spitting. That's
Okay.
what I do when I go to the gym. I got a super spread.
That's why public gyms are gross, people.
Yes.
They're
They probably
strangers
are.
just spitting on the ground.
All right.
I always liked the New Year's resolutioner crowd. Whenever I used to work out in public gyms, it was nice because then you could like keep track of them in your brain and then see the fall off month after month after month. And then you're like 3 months in, and then you know the guy, and you're like, hey.
You made it.
Yeah.
Be deterring, I think.
I have high hopes for these.
Ooh. Is it just because of the pants?
Yeah, the shorts were tight. That's the step. That's the first step.
Yeah.
I would cut these off. Don't lean over so much. You're
Talking about the
burying your
shorts?
chest more than you need to. Yeah. Cut like 3 inches off your shorts. No, but I would probably try to think about squatting 2 inches higher and thinking about keeping your chest as high, absolutely high as you can. I think you're leaning over too much because like, so you'll get to depth. Once you're at depth, you're now folding over even more and more and more. You don't need to fold over that much. Think about kind of preserving your chest angle a little bit and then cutting depth off. Some of these, it's hard to keep track of reps because it's just being cycled over and over. But some of these are like really close to being where I would want them to, but a few of the other ones are just like way deep.
That was the 5th, that one there.
Okay.
Yeah. You reckon the bar's a bit low? Look.
Yeah, I don't
if
think it's
anything,
causing a
I'd try
problem.
to-
So.
Yeah, if anything, I would try to move in his grip just a little bit. But I mean, the bar placement's fine. B, watch where you put your eyes too. So that, kind of to piggyback off of what Alex was saying, I've had a lot of people here recently. They're starting to move in their gaze too close to their feet, and that's going to pull them more forward and have a more horizontal back angle than we want, right? Alex, do you think his stance is a little bit too wide?
Not so much that I think it's causing any sort of problem. It's in the range of I don't care. I think it's like if we were to like move his stance in, his thighs are going to get a little bit longer as viewed from the side, and he'll have to lean over more, but he's already used to leaning over, so like what would it really change? Not too much.
Yeah.
I think if you're finding a comfortable bounce out of the stance, most of the time it's okay.
Yep. All right. Be deterring. Anybody else get a huge amount of anxiety before a big deadlift? How do you guys keep your head on straight before the big PRs? I reckon we answered. I think Chase answered this one a few weeks ago, I reckon.
Yeah. About the visualization before the lifts and stuff, that helps.
Yep.
Was that at a meet or just in practice?
Just in training. I get it in training all the time.
Like in training, yeah. When I went to that meet, though, it's like everything just, you don't even think about anything then, but in training.
Yeah. Have we had the
Hopefully I
roundup,
get over.
like the emotional roundup from the experience of the Phoebe's experience at the meet? I don't think we did.
It's a roundup.
What
Like you talking
your
about how your
experience
attempts were
was.
at the meet,
Oh.
everything like that.
Oh no, I don't even know what we talked about. Did we ever talk about that?
Well, this
What
is
did
going to
we-
segue into the question. So,
Oh,
how did you
yeah.
handle that pressure?
For like, I felt nervous in the beginning, like when we first started warming up for everything, but you know, it moved along so quickly. You really didn't have time to think about anything. And then once I was at the bar, what I did, because there's people in front of you, I didn't look at the people. I just look at the bar, and like uh, like Rip kept telling me after I finished and walked by the table, he'd just give me like one thing, like think about this, you know, thing else. So I was just thinking about that one thing and be like, you know, hips or he's pointing at my nose for the press or something like that. And so I would just think about one thing and possibly one other thing I knew I had to, you know, do, not look at anyone and just, you know, hit whatever it was that I, you know, needed to do at the time. But adrenaline kind of, you know, just pushed all the nerves out of the way in that moment. So
Yeah, it's funny the things you can get done
adrenaline
when people are screaming at you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think that's a really valuable point. Like, if I'm ever coaching someone through kind of pre-lift anxiety, it's exactly what Phoebe said. Like, give them a mechanical task or a cue set to focus on so they're not so in their head about everything else. If you don't have someone coaching you and it's just you, consider it like a programming exercise that you don't necessarily care about, because, again, it's not like a make or break situation where, so Nicholas is going to be pulling 460 for a double on Thursday. Consider it has my programming allowed me to get here with this being relatively easy or not? And if it didn't, now you have some more information to go back and go to the drawing board or the whiteboard and then figure out what else you need to do. I try not to get super emotional about it. Like, all of my fun lifetime PRs, I've made sure that I've been around friends and bros cheering me on, because I'm like, all right, lifetime PR, we'll go for that. But like, just over the course of like normal training, I try not to get too hyped up about that stuff.
okay, Brandon is up next. Are you excited about this guy's pants, Alex?
I always am.
I was gonna say he's got some cakes there in the, you know, on the camera.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm glad he turned his yoga studio into a actual gym.
Oh boy.
He's getting rid of all the flower pictures.
Brandon just got torched.
What kind of shoes are those?
Shitty ass running.
Yoga shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look like it.
Brandon, you're gonna have to lean over a lot more than you think and sooner. So, to help you think about this, think about shoving your nipples straight to the floor and sending your ass behind you. And as you come up, drive your waistband out of the bottom. With the shoes, just go ahead and take those off, man. They're doing more harm than they are good. You can't really find your balance point in those. Your balance point needs to be in the midfoot. Lean over more, drive the hips.
Yeah, I would mummify yourself for this, like squat shoes for sure, belt as tight as you can get it. So I would honestly just watch more people squat. If I ever like run into an athletic person who clearly does other things, and just like, hey, go spend 40 minutes watching a squat, you'll be able to figure some things out. You are trying to like unfold backwards with your chest. It's actually quite inorganic when you're watching it, and you're like, oh wow, that looks very different than most squats. You're not even trying to get everything up. It's almost like you're taking your chest and you're pulling it backwards to finish the rep. Once you're at that bottom position, you can hang out there for a second, pause. This weight is super light for you. This is a warm-up set. And then, like Chase was saying, think about physically driving your hips up in space independently and first. And you'll notice that you can stand up under the bar rather than pulling it backwards to finish the rep. Like he was saying, that balance point is the thing that you have to consider the most. So like if you're athletically inclined, you'll be able to feel that balance point on 45 pounds or 135. For other people, it takes until they get their squat to 315. But I think you should be okay. These aren't a terrible start.
Good work, Brandon. Up next, we have Chris Hazelhurst.
Oh, I remember this guy. Okay.
Yeah, this kind of looks like the same video we did a while ago.
Yeah, I think it's the same guy, but a different. Well, I hope it's a different video.
We'll find out.
Yeah. All right, I'm just going to fast
I'm
forward through
anxious.
this because this is just like that's literally 50 seconds in, and he's still screwing around. So,
This is a different video. He changed a few things from before.
yeah, I would have remembered this ridiculous setup. So
These are better than before, Hazelnut. Man, so I remember that was this is whenever we were talking Team Jacob, Team Edward. I was saying that when you're self-coaching through, if your hips are too low and you can't figure out how to stop it, accept the fact that you're not good at the setup and then focus on pushing them up to the ceiling as the pull starts. And then Rusty just said, start from scratch, do it right in the first place. It doesn't look like you're doing either of those. So it does need to be this thing where it's like, even if you're doing one rep, like you just keep the camera rolling, go off and look at it, one rep, go off and look at it. Just imagine if like someone is pressing down on the back of your neck, your chest can't go anywhere, and then someone is picking your hips up, like physically picking your hips up into the air. It's going to feel like everything is going to shift up and back, and your hamstrings are going to get tight to the bar. That's really what we want for that.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Phoebe, relevant question. How into the Twilight series were you?
Into the Twilight series. I was young when. That Twilight. I'm sorry. I was thinking Twilight Zone.
No,
not
not the
as
Twilight
much as
Zone.
you and Chase.
that is the correct
Not
answer
as
to that
much
question,
as you and
Phoebe. By the
Chase.
way,
Yeah.
that is the correct answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't say that I had a team. If I did have one, it would have been the what's his name? Taylor or something?
Oh my shit.
He's
Come on.
gorgeous.
It's
I don't know what's
Team
wrong with you
Edward.
people.
Look,
No,
Edward
no,
was
no,
the
no.
first
It's
love.
Team
You
Edward.
saw him first.
You like
What have you
Edward
done,
because
Alex?
he has your same skin color.
That's a good point.
Skin color on him and Edward. That's why he's relating. Okay.
He's someone who has the similar
Taylor,
skin
whatever
color to
his
Jacob
name
or
is.
to Taylor. Yeah, he's like 5'.
Yeah.
Come on,
He might be, but
He might be.
have you seen his face?
Did you see how ripped he was? He just had like someone airbrushed like pecs on him, and like, they starved him for about a
They
month
did a
and
good
had
job.
abs.
They did a good job at drawing his pecs on. So, I mean,
they did a very good
so-
job. The artistry.
I-
The artistry is
Thank
very
you.
correct.
Okay, he was like a male Pocahontas. All right.
See, but check it out
So-
though. Check it out. Robert Pattinson has gone on to be an excellent actor.
Mm-hmm.
The
What-
Twilight
He's funny
series was a
looking,
rough
though.
start.
What was the relevance to old mate deadlifting? What?
Oh, well,
Does-
that was
I
the guy
don't
who we
know.
originally talked about Team Edward versus Team Jacob on. And then Chase and I were wholeheartedly on Team Edward. And I wanted to get
Both of you?
Phoebe's opinion.
What?
Of course.
Oh. Why
You mean
were
the
on
correct
Team Edward?
team.
Yes.
What?
I think he's a better actor,
Wow.
tall, classically handsome. He's not short.
Nobody,
Come on.
nobody is concerned about their acting in the movie Twilight because everyone's acting was bad.
Like we're
So you
actually
can't judge him
we're
on- you
losing
can't-
viewers at the moment. I'll just let you know. Like 3 people have dropped out since we started talking about this.
Back to the grind.
We can never have any fun in here.
There's
Yeah.
a correct answer though, and it's Team
It
Edward.
was your first answer was correct, Phoebe, which is the Twilight Zone. Is that what you
Thank
mean?
you, Mick.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you,
yes.
Mick.
But then I lost all respect for you in the following 3 minutes of Twilight conversation. All right, we're going to go back to the videos. You guys can talk about Twilight after this stream's ended. Here's our old mate David, the yeller. Oh, hang on, he's normally got some good music going. Might be our first rose ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So David with the rose, it's still a flat back exercise, right? You're gonna have to keep that low back in extension. Now, this is the kind of the difficulty part that I've been trying to mess with some clients. There's kind of a knee bend happening in the row, right? So there's an initial knee extension to help push the floor, right? And then you're gonna rebend your knees to slam your stomach into it. You don't want to get vertical with your back angle here. Like, so you can see on these later reps, you're kind of getting more and more higher. That's making it more difficult for you to touch your stomach. Stay leaned over and think about slamming your stomach back into the bar, almost like it's forcing the bar back down onto the floor because you've punched it with your stomach.
Does it look
Yeah,
like
Chase
he
is-
needs to drop the weight a little bit on that, or
Do what?
he's
Drop-
just not quite? You think that's a little heavy for him?
It may just a little bit so you can practice it, but
That's what I mean.
Yeah, Chase is very right. So there is unironically a double knee bend, a la the power clean or the snatch that you can see in the row. So it's like I will honestly coach people to start with a little bit of a lower hip position so that they can get more drive off the ground. You don't have to worry too much about this being on the midfoot because it's light. You can throw it to the ceiling if you want to. But essentially what that will oftentimes allow you to do is to get that kind of push with the quads off the ground. And then I honestly like to think about slamming your knees back under the bar. So like once the bar is kind of passed and floating, slamming everything back under it. And then normally you'll kind of get that drop sensation of where like the torso and the femur and the knees and everything, they'll just all shift back and down, kind of meeting the bar on the way there. It's like if you are technically proficient at it, if you can deadlift it, you can pretty closely row it, depending on how fast of a puller you are. It's a very interesting power movement. But like Chase was saying, like the coaching on it to get that kind of pop in the double knee bend needs to be fleshed out more for sure.
Okay. Duke of Istria, what's your favorite beef cut? And good night from Croatia.
beef cut.
It's tough.
I honestly
Man,
don't have
I
one.
mean,
Have you ever eaten beef bowls? Is that a thing in Texas?
yeah, so that's kef fries or Rocky Mountain oysters.
Do you eat
I've
them
never
raw
actually
like
had
real
that. Are
oysters?
they good?
They just slide down.
No. You fry them. You don't eat them raw. I mean, I think
Well, he said oysters. I was like, I mean, is that why they call them
Texas
oysters?
sashimi.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, I guess I didn't see this because, like, it hurt my stomach to watch my friend slice them up, but he had just turned a few of his bulls into steers, right? A steer is a male cow without balls. So he has a huge bag of cow testicles, and he's like, hey, guys, I'm going to fry these up. I'm like, sweet. He's like, do you know how to prepare them, Chase? I'm like, fuck no, I'm not touching those. And he's over there just, like, slicing them. I'm like, oh, God, I want to go outside and, like, stoke the fire or some shit like that.
Why would you
But
do
no.
that? Why do you need to cut their balls off?
No, because they're like this big.
No,
So
I mean,
he's slicing them up. So
not that. I
No,
mean,
she
why
means in the
would you
first
want to
place.
do that to
Oh, okay.
a bull?
Well, think about it, right? So if you have all these cows in a pasture, right, and you got males and boys, or males and females, right? Love starts to happen, and cow number 43 over there is looking pretty fine. I don't want to have a bunch of baby cows.
All right, okay.
at that point,
Thank
right?
you.
And if
Thank you for that.
they're beef cow,
Thank you
right?
for the lesson.
Sometimes the
That was good.
testosterone
I think
will
I
alter the
understand
beef.
now. Love, gotcha.
You don't understand.
Okay.
But sirloins is definitely for me. I like sirloins, ribeyes, basically all of it.
All of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do the balls taste like? Are they pretty good?
Oh, they're very good if they're done right. It's kind of they're creamy. They're very tender. Yeah, I know.
It's just
Of
a
course.
word I would not
But,
hear when I'm eating
it's,
balls.
it's kind of like an umami taste, right? It's hard to explain.
A bit
Who
salty.
are you?
A bit salty and creamy. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm a beef connoisseur.
He's a gourmand.
All right.
Yeah. I completely forgot. I think the best beef experience that I've had universally is beef ribs. Whenever you go to like a Texas de Brazil or like a Fogo de Chao style, like Brazilian steakhouse, the beef ribs always knock it out of the park.
Mm. Yep.
It feels like you're eating a stick of just
It's
fat.
true.
It feels like there's no protein in it
Yeah,
whatsoever.
Yeah, anything
It's
with anything with fat. Brisket's pretty good. I'm a big brisket fan.
You gotta
Yeah.
cook the brisket right, though.
Oh, of course you do. I mean, it's otherwise it's just eating a
It's-
bag of rubber.
Yeah. There's so many ways you can go wrong with it. So
Mm.
it's
How
the
do you
only
cook
problem
brisket,
with that.
Phoebe?
I don't cook brisket. I know my limits. But I eat brisket. And I don't know how they cook it when I eat it, but it is good.
Yeah. Well, Chase is going to take you out after the stream for a big bag of cow's balls.
Fresh.
Oh,
Fresh,
Straight
fresh
off-
from the
straight
farm.
off the cow.
full.
Yeah.
Full. Sorry, I
We'll
just
cut 'em
had
ourselves.
a huge dinner.
Pluck them out like apples.
And I'm on a diet. Sorry, guys.
Nicholas in the chat said, "Is that going to be on Texas Cafe Classics?"
That would be awesome.
All right,
So many things to do for.
let's move on. Dylan Martin. Oh, the calf raises in the background, Alex.
Where?
I didn't even
See
see
the guy on the
this.
machine?
You're so good at spotting this.
I used to do them.
What's the other guy doing in the blue shirt on the other side? Oh no, he hasn't gotten to whatever he's doing.
He's texting, he's Snapchatting or TikToking.
Yeah, he is. Gains, bro. That's what's happening.
Living the dream.
I'd like to see the front angle on this. I think your knees need to be shoved out a little bit more. You're kind of falling back onto your heels during the pull. I would think about keeping your armpits right over the bar and using your back as a crane to kind of pull everything up, not backwards. Normally you can tell if someone's thinking really far back whenever they have a pretty dramatic finishing position like you do. I think these are very sustainable, and a solid start. Back extension is solid.
Yep, I agree. I'd almost use the cue, like, think about pushing from your quads or something to stay forward, too. But Alex is right. That's why you missed the last one, too, because you're essentially making that moment arm on your back a lot longer if you're shoving your hips back and you're not really balancing the load over the midfoot at that point. That's why your back kind of rounded in and you failed.
Yeah, I think the rep was there with more maturity. Like, I think if you pulled for another 3 years, even if it was kind of the same strength level, I think you probably could have figured that one out. The hips had to come down a little bit. The bar would have like clocked back to your legs, and you would have been able to finish. But yeah, if it ever gets that far off the shins, I don't think it's worth finishing half the time. The fatigue cost to grind it out is normally huge.
All right, Dylan. Oh, we've got okay. Our next video is Francesco from Italy. So we actually had Francesco on a couple of months ago, and this was his squat from a couple of months ago. So we're going to do like a before and after with the. You can kind of see. I've taken it off YouTube there. That's a bit weird. This was his squat before. All right, and I'll just. And here's his after. Here's his most recent squat. Looks like he's got his own gym now as well, which is good.
I was hoping he just gained 65 pounds and is just morbidly obese now.
I did too.
He's just
Like a
bald.
reverse,
Yeah.
the biggest loser.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's become an SSC. He got his SSC. He actually kind of looks like Mehdi from Strong Lifts. Anyway.
I don't think I've ever seen a picture of that guy.
Yeah, I have no idea who the fuck you're talking about. Man.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
I know strong lifts. I don't know who the dude is.
You haven't seen Mehdi? I'll get a picture.
You're doing hips first before knees. I would focus on punching your knees forward as soon as you start the squat. You can use a tubo for this, and then the goal is touch the tubo as fast as you can. I think everything's still a little bit too far back. I think it's definitely a big improvement from last time, though it doesn't seem like there's much more weight on the bar despite there being a few months of progress. So figure that out.
I agree. Maybe he went through the quarantine. I don't know.
That's true, yeah. You lost all your gains. Now they're on the way back.
Yep.
Yeah, do some chin-ups as well.
Cool. All right. Any other feedback for Francesco?
No, it's an awesome name.
That's it, man.
I love it.
I like his hair.
Curly hair squad.
Girls get the girls.
That's right.
That's what that phrase really means, I think.
Yeah. We'll do one more video, then we'll get to a few comments. Leo Sard, our old buddy from Brazil, still at the disco by the looks of it.
Is this the guy with the giant gray beard?
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We might actually
What the
see it at
hell
the
is
bottom.
going on in Brazil?
Leo, I don't know why you filmed from this angle. But anyways, I'd start bringing in the stance a little bit. You have a shift coming out of the bottom. You're shifting onto your left. Think about pushing off of that as you come up. Bring in the stance like half an inch, and I can see a little bit of air underneath your heels as you reach the bottom. Lift up your toes as you're going down. Not too much, just a little bit, and load the hips.
Yeah, for sure. I'd narrow the stance, speed these up. I think you are trying to do too much in your brain, which is causing the balance problems. If you can get some lifters, it's going to solve so much for you. So see if you can get some of those. Try to make sure they color match the rest of the club. You get like some neon purple kicks. That'd be nice.
No, he needs to get like weightlifting shoes that have like goldfishes in the bottom, kind of like the plastic disco.
Oh, there we go.
Shoes. That'd be cool.
So stripper shoes is what those.
And then anytime he's doing a jerk, he just keeps killing the fish just from stomping them. I have to change the fish every time I work out.
Yep. Comments. What was our next question? Oh, something about belts. When's the best time to start using a belt on squats and deadlifts?
Empty bar, as soon as you can, immediately. Wear it around the gym the entire session.
I do have actually an interesting. I haven't brought this one up to Chase yet, but I'm gonna pose it to the group. It is about belts. So I was thinking, I did something stupid the other week, right? Screwed up my own back. Knew exactly what I was doing, and just got distracted and looked away on a deadlift, and I don't know what I did, but anyway, something popped right underneath my belt, and I was like, I knew what I did wrong, but it started to make me think about practicing more without my belt, and just that my belt kind of gets in my way sometimes. I have a 4-inch belt. Rip has said not to use the 4-inch belt, but I like it. But it does on my deadlift. Sometimes I'll switch to a 3-inch. I didn't have one near me that day, so I was what do y'all think about, doing your deadlifting without a belt? Period, even on bigger deadlifts, as far as you can handle, obviously. Like if I start from where I'm at right now, where I don't need a belt right now because I'm taking off a lot of weight, and just work my way up without a belt for a long time.
Chase, you want to go first? Mick, what about you?
Yeah.
Look at him, he's already frowning.
Yeah. So to answer the original question, I forgot the dude's name, but I like to have
Phoebe.
people wear a belt when
Her name's Phoebe.
Her name is Phoebe.
not Phoebe's question, the guy who originally asked.
Yeah.
I like to wear squat or put people on a belt for their squats and deadlifts when they're about a little over body weight, maybe body weight and a quarter, body weight and a half, somewhere around there. But there is a point where you need to learn first how to set the back and control it underneath the load. Now, to get into Phoebe's question, you can kind of do the same thing, right? You can kind of train a beltless deadlift as a light pull variation, or even like a medium pull in your programming. Mm-hmm. But I think of it as like a mental security blanket, knowing that I've pulled, like 500 beltless. So I don't have to worry about 525 with this belt because I can extend my back as hard as I can. So whenever you warm up, don't use your belt for basically any warm-ups if you can. If I'm getting up, high in the deadlifts, and I normally put on a belt 2 warm-ups in, I would wait until maybe the last, or not even using it until the work set.
So now I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench into this, all right? Because there was a podcast where old Daddy Rip was talking about not using a belt, period. And he said big deadlifts, great deadlifters have pulled big deadlifts beltless.
They have, but they need to learn that what you did was you relaxed your lower back, and that's the basis of this
but
argument.
I don't
is
think
that you're not controlling your lower back,
right? And so without the belt, right, like that's something I absolutely have to do, or I won't get anywhere. Like I feel like I was relying on my belt. Well, I did, but I felt like I was relying on my belt when, if I hadn't had it on, I don't think I would have even started to pull because I would have had to set my back and before I.
You got distracted and you lost.
I did get distracted. We know that. Okay, we don't. Talk
the chase perspective here is just like get good, don't fuck up.
Is
Yeah.
what?
Be better.
Yeah, but can I get good without my belt? Because it
Absolutely.
almost it bothers me, honestly.
So think
if
about
there
this
was a way to
with
do it
what.
without.
So zoom out for a second, and if we think about like the standard progression, ideally people who are programming in this style are going to be doing either the power snatch or the power clean or other like pulling variations like an RDL. I
Right.
personally use beltless variations like a medium pull in addition to, all right, your power cleaning, you don't need your belt. Your power snatching, you don't need your belt. The person should be having more total pulling volume with those accessories or those secondary lifts rather than just the deadlift. So let's say if they're doing 5 deadlift sets a week at a moderate intensity, they're probably going to be doing, between like 6 to 12 power clean sets and maybe a few more sets of RDLs if they're a sufficiently advanced lifter. All of that other accessory work likely is not going to have a belt. They should have practice setting their back and doing all these things without it. For a novice, or an early intermediate, it's a coaching flavor thing, and it's to see their level of competency. So it's like if someone is a little bit spooked out about their lower back and they think if they put a belt on, something bad's going to happen, or if they take the belt off, something bad's going to happen, you are now working through that psychological process, even though you know that nothing bad's going to happen either way. It's just like the skill of, is my brain setting my back and am I holding it? Is that there? That happens with or without the belt. It's just a thing of what are you better at learning and what are you more comfortable with. So like when to put the belt on for most people, if there's no signs that lower back extension is the throttle or the bottleneck or the limiter for a deadlift, I don't really care if they have a belt on. Eventually they will get a belt on because it's a helpful tool to be better at the deadlift. But you don't need it in any capacity for most people's training just on the basis of, can I do a deadlift? I think it really self-regulates. I don't think it's a hyper important for anyone to focus on. But I think, like Chase was saying, you will be better at pulling with the belt on, just because you have an extra thing to brace off of. It doesn't mean you're inherently going to be bad at pulling if you don't have one, though.
Yep. All right.
Might just stick with a smaller one.
Yeah, I think that's probably the
Learn
way
how
to
to
go.
set your damn back. How about that?
You know, Alex, I was really hoping
I am in the chase
that
camp.
one of you would,
I'm in the chase camp.
help me out on this other side.
Look,
because I knew
Team
Chase
Edward,
was going to yell at
Team
me.
Edward sticks together.
No, well, I didn't know he was Team Edward before, and now I do, so now I know what's wrong here. Okay.
We'll have to ask Rusty next week where what side he's on. Nicholas Nert said, the real question is what distracted Phoebe? Did a Jacob from Twilight lookalike walk by?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so why don't you tell him?
It probably was. It was dude with the big shoulders over there. That's probably what it was. There was some really interesting characters in that gym at the time, like extremely.
Which gym was this? Was it Wichita Falls?
No, it was in Houston. I won't say which,
Okay.
but it was a very large, popular gym, and oh my god, like the first day, someone comes up to me because like Chase picked up some weights from like over on the weight tree near the guy, and he's like, "Hey, bro," and he has like giant earrings on. Gigantic earrings, a mouth guard. He's benching, by the way. A mouth guard, giant earrings, like a curly hair with a headband, and just like this dude had everything that like a gym bro needs. And he walked over and he was like, "Hey, bro, did y'all like take my weights?" I was just like, I didn't even touch him. Like I don't know. Maybe he took.
He walked up to you and said, "Hey, bro, did you take my plates?"
He's like, did you guys take my plates? Because I guess he saw the same color plates over there or whatever. And yeah, that's what he came over and said. And I just kind of looked at him like, nah, dude. Like, like, nah, bro. Like, I don't even know. I didn't see any plates. So, but he was kind of upset. I was just like, this place, I got to get out
It's
of here.
emotional.
I hate
Everyone knows
guess so.
benching is the most emotional lift.
Did he take the mouth
sat
guard
there
out
for a
before he
full-
talked to you, or he just left
No.
it in?
No,
Oh, he did.
it was the mouth guard was in his mouth, and I was like, "What is with this guy?" And then he proceeded walk back over, took off his shirt for about 20 minutes to push one bench press, put it back on, and then sat on the bench for like 45 more minutes and didn't push the one
That's
heavy
awesome.
attempt.
This guy
Yeah,
sounds
it was
cool.
great.
I want to be friends
It
with
was
this
great.
guy.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Great
Short comment
experiences.
from or question from the comments. Leo Sod says, I use this angle because the bar is trending to the left side and I can't solve it. My answer is don't worry about it unless you are noticing some sort of pain process which you think is coming from this asymmetry. If you're just having like a 1-inch tilt, it doesn't matter even a little bit. Because that's not really like a plane of efficiency where you really care about. It's not forward or backwards of midfoot. We're pretty good at handling kind of asymmetries from one side to the other because most of our bodies are entirely asymmetrical. If you are having a pain process there and you can't figure out why, I would start with pin squats, not a box squat, so that you'll have to pace it down so that the bar touches the pins on either side at the same exact time. If you're going like left side down every time, it's going to clunk, you're going to get feedback, and then you'll learn to pace the right side down faster. It's a technical problem. It's not really anything that's super bad for you.
Yep.
All right, we got Rolk up next. I think we've had Rolk on a few times. The incredible Rolk.
I've never seen this person in my entire life.
I just remember the name.
Guy, he had a... Yeah, I want to say, like, this is a guy, he had a dog shit squat. And he was, like, way on his toes.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Because
sorry, guys.
I think it was either Rusty or me, we said something about his shoes, and those shoes look different, so...
Oh, they look like pillows still. Or is it just the floor that's soft?
It's probably the floor. A lot of gyms do stuff like that.
This looks like an Anytime Fitness.
I'm excited for this squat now.
Oh.
Jesus.
That's way less dog shit than I expected.
Maybe this is a different guy.
It could
Maybe,
be a different guy.
Maybe
this may be a
he's
different guy.
submitting videos for his friend.
Oh, I think he actually might have been. Let me have a look.
What's this gentleman's name again?
Rolk.
Rolk. Yeah, so when you rewatch this, just look at the end of the barbell or pick like the red sticker out on the plates, and then you'll watch it. You'll notice it kind of bounces forward, bounces back, gets stuck for a little bit, and then starts moving back up. That's because you're setting the bar forward and backwards of midfoot. You want to think about everything gliding up and down on a vertical rail. So you're descending in a really uncontrolled pattern right now. The knees are slamming forward, and then it's going far forward, far backwards, and then calibrating back to the middle. Think about slowing that whole process down. I would probably take 50 pounds off the bar, and then making everything in a nice controlled motion. What do you guys think?
Hang on, I've got actually his comments that he submitted. He said the last video submitted was 105 kilograms. Thank you for the comments. And he's got in quotations, screw feet into floor is a new cue to me, still experimenting. At least I can somewhat feel my glutes again. This is the third set, 152.5 kilograms. And when can I earn the permission to wear jorts?
Yeah, I would say
wouldn't-
he had something weird with his feet. That's why we told him about that cue of the screw the feet. But yeah, I'm in agreement with Alex about everything that he said.
Yeah.
I'd get like
What's the best way that someone can think about controlling their squat on the way down? Sometimes we tell people to count, but do y'all have any other?
I've always found that counting works. They're actually competent enough to count, and
A lot of people count too fast when they're trying to count their squat down, but yeah,
then I count
would have
for 'em.
said
I go 1, 2, 3, up.
That's part of the board exam, actually. They make us count for them.
Yep.
For the SSC.
I was just gonna
You're
say that I once counted for someone when I was telling them to count, and Chase was like, "Don't count for them; make them count themselves."
Because you did
And I
it
was
each
like,
and every single rep over multiple sets.
It was working, but anyway,
I go, okay, now let him do it on his own.
not true. It was working. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna, I'm the apprentice. I'm just gonna take my lumps, and so,
Failed.
Anywho,
Get the hell out.
yeah.
Hey, Rock, I reckon as well, like
Right.
I used to train this. I reckon this is an Anytime Fitness in Australia, which I used to train at one of these gyms, and they have soft flooring. And I actually ended up taking like a square piece of wood to actually put in the rack to kind of at least give it a bit more stability on the floor, because those things that it does actually look like you're squatting on pillows, and I reckon you're gonna need to sort that out as well. I think.
Why in the world would they put something that soft in there?
I mean, it's just a
Why do
franchise
anything
gym.
in his height fit? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they just
Super weird.
they don't care. All right, Rolky, good work, man. Who we got next? We have SM Low.
Overhead press, please. Please.
No,
No.
no chance. It's another Anytime Fitness. Should sponsor this bloody podcast. At least we'll make some money out of it.
Is that a Texas A&M flag on the wall? The orange one?
That's Texas, and then
that's
A&M is.
University of Texas. How
Oh,
dare
okay.
you?
I'm sorry. I got it mixed up. I was only there once.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
take the mask off.
Wow. Everybody knows
Yeah.
the Longhorns are University of Texas.
Alex didn't.
Well, you know what? I'm going to tell Alex right now. Don't ever blaspheme Texas A&M.
We are
like
about to
that.
get the
That's
best
terrible.
crotch view of
I
a
like the
squat
squad
right
shot,
now.
man.
This is going to be great. He might actually knock the camera over. Oh, yeah.
SMN, these look like just high bar squats. I would lower the bar a little bit lower, and then work on shoving your stomach in between your legs. Everything else looks pretty solid.
Yeah, much more dramatic lean. Much more dramatic lean. Once you fix the bar position, it's going to feel pretty natural, but these are a solid start. Like, the things that we're looking
Yep.
for, it's like, are you staying roughly mid-foot? Are your feet staying on the ground? Is your back staying in extension? If you have those three kind of foundational points, you're just kind of dialing it in. If you do those, you'll be fine.
Okay. Good work, man. Stephen Lou Saint, our old buddy. Ooh,
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
here we go.
Hell yeah, man.
Get it, Stephen.
More
Jesus.
laid back.
I was going to say, you're about as mad as
Back.
you over here. Oh, my God. Oh, you got competition. Well, better get on the drugs now.
No, I mean this is pretty solid. If anything, Steven, though, I'd bring in your grip. I think your grip is a little bit too wide. I personally like the more narrower grip, so I can actually stack everything together. I feel more secure in my rack position because I have a tight armpit. My tricep is more on top of my lat, so I can feel a bigger bounce generated through that. I personally, after each rep after the top, try not to spend too much time there. You're kind of debating whether to bounce it off again from your shoulders. Well, yeah, I guess you kind of did. Just start each one from the start and throw your hips. You're going to get a little bit better bounce from there.
I think you're starting a little bit on your heels, and then we see that calibrating in, so it's just like in the portion of the double layback, the whole system actually kind of shifts forward a little bit, especially on rep 1. Think about starting it farther on your toes. You correct it by rep 2 since you have more time with it, but rock forward a little bit and then send your hips forward, and I think these will be a lot smoother.
I think he's barbecuing some cow's balls and just chowing down in between reps.
Must be.
That's how it
Yeah,
works,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, nice.
I think that you need to find out where this guy lives. You two need to be best friends. Y'all can
Become
be
best
pressing
friends.
buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because we can lay back.
Well, I mean, he's doing a pretty significant amount of weight, and y'all both lay back the same. Y'all can just be like, you'll take pictures laying back with your presses and everything. It'd be
Yeah.
really cute.
And you both eat cow's
Ebony
balls.
and Ivory, you'd have that
Look,
too.
Phoebe, you're
Ebony
a
and
nice
Ivory.
person, but
Yes.
they kind of.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Sometimes
You guys
you're
need your own
against it.
sitcom. I think that's what needs to happen, especially in this day and age.
He's so dry.
He's so dry. Well, that's good. That's
He's so dry.
who we got next? Tejo, our old buddy Tejo.
Oh, this is he had a question up top. We blew past it.
Was it? What was it?
Maybe it was not him.
Oh yeah, no, it was Theodore.
It was Theodore? Okay,
Yeah.
mix up Teodor and
Okay.
Theodore.
And apparently Tejo wants me to do some Aussie man reviews, style reviews. But
What are Aussie man reviews?
he's like a famous YouTuber who he commentates videos in a really Australian accent.
Short notes. These are really light. Drive your hips up. Hold your knees back. I think these are pretty okay. You're slamming forward at the bottom, but I think if you focus on leaning over more, you will slow that down whether you want to or not. But what do you think, Chase?
Yep, that and just more hip drive.
Yep.
More
I love
hips.
these ones. These are like conceptually simple.
I want
Just
to know
do
where
the
he
thing.
is. Where is he? Let's see if we can work out where he is.
He's in
'Cause-
the courtyard. There's a tree, and he's under the sky.
Yeah.
Maybe
I mean,
you
it's
can
summer.
post
It's definitely
it.
summer where he is,
Nice.
or close to the equator. That's for sure. Like, there's a sort of palm tree in the background.
Yeah, I'm thinking some South American country. I'm gonna go with Paraguay.
What?
Paraguay.
Ooh, the rare Paraguay
I
call.
don't even know where Paraguay is, dude.
Yeah, I'm pulling out the Paraguay card.
We'll find out in about 20 seconds, I reckon. All right, Tejo. Thanks for the video. I think that's all the videos for now. So what was Theodore's question?
Theodore's?
Oh, okay.
How do I maintain as much muscle mass or even gain with 135 pounds of weight and calisthenics in the park? London lockdown advice. Should I train like 5 times a week, for example? Sets and reps, do they even matter at this point, or is it just about progression? You're still going to see a hypertrophy return on most rep schemes if you're coming from traditional barbell training. You are aiming for progression, microcycle over microcycle, into meso over meso. With 135, you have a lot of options. You could, like, if your weighted chin up is below 135, your weighted dip is below 135, and your weighted pistol squat is below like 90, make those higher. You know, like, so if you add 50 pounds to your weighted chin up and then you do that for 7 reps, you're going to gain muscle mass. The thing that's just hard to do is training your erectors, but if you have a bar, you could do a lot of good mornings. You could do a lot of weighted lunges, things like that. Go lunge 100 meters with 135 on your back, see how you like it. You'll get some leg gains out of it. You just can't expect it to be super strength-based outside of the weighted chin-up and the weighted dip, I don't think. The weighted push-up is a good one. It's just hard to load on your own. So I don't know how it is about working out outside. My other London guy right now is saying that things are like super locked down there, so good luck with that.
Pistol squats are the worst thing in the world. Like, I just...
They
Do
do
you,
suck.
how
People even-
what even you think they suck? Like, I was going to say, how much fun do you think they are?
I think they're fun just from a novelty perspective. I don't dislike doing them, but they hurt. They're very painful.
Yeah, it's not a natural movement. Is Tejo the one that was asking us a while back about how to talk to girls at the gym? And we was sort of
Don't
saying,
recall.
I think
It was some European,
Yeah, I think it was. No, not Tejo. Theodore.
Theodore.
Yeah.
Go up to them and ask them if they stole your weights. Works every time.
While wearing a mouth guard.
Yeah, leave your mouth guard in, spit
Yeah.
at them.
Yeah.
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 No, Tejo said, no, that's not me. And Tejo also said Central Mexico. You were pretty close, Chase.
Central
That
Mexico.
was pretty damn close.
Pretty close. Wait, is
Interesting. We have
Paraguay...
real Louis C.K. over there, man.
yeah. Where is Paraguay? That's South America.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of Panama. That's closer to... That's Central... Anyway. All right. Well, I think we got through everything, fellas and lady. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Or do you just want to let everyone know where to find you online so they can send you hate messages and Theodore can debate you about anti-nutrients, Alex?
Oh, yeah. We'll have a link for my website in the description. I'm on the Starting Strength Reddit. Chase, you'll find this fun. It's not super important, but there's probably been like 5 or 6 people who are trying to get information about being a pressed specialist. The best one, I was like, so what's your, where are you at in the LP? And they're like, well, I'm still in the LP, but I'm pressing 2 times a week and I'm only benching 1 time a week. And then I was like, okay, what are they? And they listed the numbers for the press and the bench. Bench, 125 pounds. Press, 85 pounds.
Nice.
And I was like, yeah, these are all choices that you're making as an adult to decide to specialize right now. It's been killing me.
Oh, hey, there's Mehdi from Strong Lifts, just in case.
He's not even that jacked.
This is the guy?
Shit
He
physique.
looks nothing like the other guy.
Yeah, he looks like French. Well, he just He's got glasses.
He doesn't.
He's European.
He doesn't have the hair. The hair
He has
is
2
on.
arms and glasses.
Yeah, he has 2 arms and glasses.
And he's squatting. He's in a squat rack.
There you go.
Are those glasses even real?
I don't know. I think it was a
But
while
yeah,
ago.
Chase, please write an article on press specialization and being like why and when. I need it. I need to be able to send it to people. There's so many guys who are
Alright, yeah.
benching 155, 125 to 155, and they're like, I think it's time to be a press specialist. It kills me.
I
kills
probably
me
I
on
probably
inside.
need to. I have a few ideas about wanting to kind of put in some isometric work, seeing how that may help your press and stuff. But yeah, I definitely need to write that.
Yep. We got one more question from Ahmed Sheikh Ahmed. I'm pretty sure that's a WWE character. But anyway, well, he was WWF, the Sheik, the Iron Sheik.
Yeah,
Iron
gee.
Sheik, yeah.
He used to do the camel. Was it the camel clutch? And he put it under the jaw. Was that him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyway, sorry. How important is it to set squat stance while under the bar? It seems everyone is just walking back before doing that.
That's a
At
good question.
a lightweight, yeah. At a lightweight, I think it's important so that way it carries over into the heavier work set. So with me, I found that, especially like on my singles and stuff, attempts on my meets, it's kind of hard to get exactly where I want it, but I'm getting in a good area to where I know that I'm not 1 inch forward with my right foot compared to my left. I'm in my warm-ups practicing every single time how to set my feet up correctly, so that way on my work sets, it should just be a muscle memory at that point.
Yeah, I think it's very important to be cognizant of it early on, so that you aren't like lunging the bar out. You'll see a lot of new people do that, like 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. I think symmetry is a lot more important than width. But you'll figure out your preference pretty quickly. Like a heavy squat for you. So if you're near your limit, your end of intermediate training, the unrack is going to feel hard. You need to be good at it. At that point, it's going to be in your squat stance because you're the best at squatting weight there.
Getting a bit of hate in the comments about the Paraguay is close to Mexico comment. I meant Panama. That's what I was thinking of, Panama, not Paraguay. So, anyway.
Yeah, so Geography Lock said Paraguay is as far from Mexico as LA is from New York. That's fine,
Really?
man.
Huh.
Yeah,
Wow.
sorry,
So no one is going to check
Wow.
that. No one is going to check that.
sorry for all the
Paraguay could be
Paraguayans who are
right
watching the
next to
stream. If I offended you.
Yeah, you're gonna get canceled by all the people from Paraguay now.
Someone
All right.
needs to debunk this
Yep.
as fast as possible.
Phoebe, where can people find you if they want to follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram where I won't be very interesting. Penelope7 is my Instagram.
Yep. And you made it just so no one can ever spell it. That's I love that.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry that no one can spell my regular name. It's really not it's not any better. I apologize.
Yep. And Chase, where can people follow you and send you DMs about your impressive quads?
Just Instagram, Chase Lindley, all one word.
Chase Lindley, beautiful. All right. Well, thanks for everyone. Thanks, guys, for coming on, and thanks to everyone who submitted videos and left questions for us. We will be back hopefully with Rusty next week.
Indeed.
All right. See you later.